I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are here, we are back, and we are live with your AEW Dynamite New Year's bash crap. Even though the New Year ain't even here, it's December 27th, 2023. We ain't even spun in the New Year's, and Tony Khan's already out here celebrating, but we are here. We are here. Yes, we're sounding good. We got sound. It's sounding beautiful. But we are here with your AEW Dynamite review right here on the Value of Wrestling. We're going to break down this New Year's bash, even though the New Year's hasn't even hit. Tony Khan trying to jump the gun probably more times than he has in his life, but we won't go down that river or that road. It's AEW Dynamite, and I guess we have to play nice. We can't criticize Tony because he'll cry and whine, and then people will tell us we're not true pro wrestling fans if we don't like what Tony Khan does, yada yada, bloody bloody. Let's get into introductions. Of course, you know the one, the only
Clarke.
And of course, our very own King of the Bums, the King of New Japan Pro Wrestling Knowledge.
Guilty.
Why do I have you guys to sound the same? That's not right. Something went funky like a monkey in the, let's see here. That's why, because it shouldn't be that. Everything's messed up. There we go. That should do it. Let's try that. There we go.
Oh yeah, there we go. That is beautiful.
That's the right sound. That's the right song. For one, Mr. Miguel Z. And of course, you know me. I'm the DEC. Yes, I'm the big time. And yeah, opened the window and made them go bye-bye for a minute there. But they'll be back. Don't worry about it. I know everything's screwy. Welcome to the world of YouTube. Welcome to the world of being live and living color. Ladies and gentlemen, Lottie Dottie, I hope everybody had a happy, joyful Christmas and holiday season. And we're kicking it off. Numbers looking good. I see that we have 176 subs. We added 6 today. So thank you, everybody who subscribed today. Keep subscribing. We appreciate that. We are growing, trying to hit that 200 before the end of the year. Hopefully, maybe we can hit it. Maybe. Anyways, how are we doing tonight, gentlemen? How are you feeling, Mr. Z?
I'm good. Yeah, I was entertained tonight.
Oh, I bet you were entertained. Hopefully you didn't choke on your meal there while you were watching this. I had some Taco Bell earlier. I was able to keep it down for most of this show. Mr. Clarke, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing quite well tonight.
Yeah, all right. So we get straight into the new theme for AEW television. We don't get any opens. We just run right into a match. And we open the match with Jon Moxley versus Jay White versus Swerve Strickland. In the Gold League Tournament semifinal match, winner of the match is going to go ahead and face whoever wins the Blue League semifinal at World's End on Saturday. And what we got here was kind of a street fight and a wrestling match. You got a little bit of everything. The in-ring work was good. They did what they needed to. It was a good match in the sense of that. But in the end, Jason's him off the rope. He tries to hit a switchblade on Moxley, and we get a King Kong Lariat into a Death Rider. 1, 2, 3. Jon Moxley wins. The match went 23 minutes 10 seconds. There was no time limit here. The match itself was good. Yes, I'll say the in-ring work, the work that they did a good match here. What hurts for me is seeing Moxley win because I'm like, this was definitely an opportunity to give Swerve that rub. I don't know why we needed to go to safe route with Moxley. And even more in the end, when we get to the other winner, you kind of go, why are we rehashing this a little bit right now? When you had Swerve could have really used a win here, and Jay White could have used this little bit of a push to do something after he lost at Full Gear and just kind of feels like he's flat and has been booked flat through most of his AEW run. Hasn't felt important, but no, we went with Moxley, who I feel was just going with the safe bet. The match was good, but the disappointment is I don't really get why we needed Moxley to win this. And if Moxley was going to win this anyways, why didn't we just have him beat Jay White last week, and end it like the original tournament was set up? Whoever had the most points was going to win and move on. Why did we need an extra match if we were just going to give this to Moxley? Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on this match, Jay White, Jon Moxley, and Swerve Strickland?
Now, personally, I would have preferred either Jay White or Swerve Strickland, but the fact that Moxley did win, and when we start talking about the other winner, I'm actually not as disappointed as you are about it, because there's that rich history that they've been building that it's not going to be out of everyone, but for those who kind of like those long feuds throughout the years kind of feel, this is going to add to that.
Yeah.
Long-term storytelling.
I don't know if it's long-term storytelling.
Con doesn't do that purposely.
I don't know. I don't know if that's really long-term storytelling. I feel like it's maybe a safe feud when it comes down to it. We've seen this before in different variations. We're going to see it again, which is good. We're going to get a good match, but I'm just kind of like, why couldn't a Jay White or Swerve Strickland, who really needed this opportunity to use this to maybe springboard to the next level? And then we find out...
I understand your argument, but again, depending upon who winds up actually winning in the finals, that will tell me if that was worth the time of investment.
Well, there's only one person who should win. There's the safe bet that I'm afraid Tony might go with, and then there's the other one that may finally give the flowers or the crowning to this man, which is fine and great and is probably the better solution to that without giving out too much away. Of course, if you watch the show, then you know that Eddie Kingston won the other match, so it's going to be Eddie Kingston versus Jon Moxley, so screw that. So, I mean, if Eddie needs to be the one that wins this now. At this point, Eddie needs to win this. He needs that rub. He's kept all the DC. He's came back from behind. He's got the titles. He's going to win all 3 titles. He gets to live like his heroes, as we found out after the match when Moxley says, oh, you want to be like your heroes and be a Triple Crown winner. And, of course, who are these guys that have been Triple Crown winners? It would be nice if somebody would fill us in with some names on AEW TV to tell us, hey, these are his heroes, or these are the people who've done it that he's looking at. You know, somebody could have named it, whether it was Moxley, whether it was the announcers, whether it was Kingston, with somebody giving us some more of just Triple Crown winners and just being Triple Crown winners, because I don't think American fans are really acknowledged to Triple Crown winners other than somebody who's won 3 of the promotion's titles at different times in their career. Mr. Z, do you have anything you want to add to this match?
First off, I wasn't happy with the winner. Let's just hold on 1 second. Dogs are barking.
Just run with it.
Come on.
We can't hear it.
All right. So okay. So we know why I wasn't happy with it. I didn't want Moxley to win. It would have been nice to see either Swerve or Jay White win it. You let Jay White win it, you're telling the story of the man, of him taking on Eddie Kingston, the man that ended his New Japan career, which would have been great to tell. But why Moxley? You're probably right. It's a little cushion. It's the safe place. We're just gonna go ahead and lay on that pillow. But I mean, I'm not Tony Khan, I guess. I don't know how to cluster fluff build, so I don't know.
You got dogs barking. I got cats that jump in the middle of the show. But hey, nope. Again, I wasn't real happy with Moxley. I get it. I go with it. It's kind of the safe bet. Now that we know that it's going to be Moxley and Eddie Kingston, yes, we're going to get a good match. But I think both the other guys, and I think we all agree that the other two guys could have really used this moment. But we'll have to see what they do at World's End. So from there, we are backstage, and we got, a whole different direction. It seems like Swerve has been pushed, and now I feel kind of like Swerve is in here, and now he's with Nana, and he's talking about somebody on Collision, talking about his house and tearing down his house and blah, blah, blah. So now Swerve is challenging Keith Lee, and now at the end of the show, we found out Keith Lee will be taking on Swerve at World's End. And I'm kind of like, You built Swerve up, and now you have him going back to face Keith Lee on a pay-per-view. Like this might have been a match that would have been pay-per-view worthy a while ago, but Keith Lee, really, you haven't done much. He talks, great promo. He has a great story where he came out and said, Collision, I'm going to tear down this house. I think you could have let that festered over TV shows and built this feud instead of just bringing back something that was over here a while ago that we kind of, we kind of forgot about it. We knew it was there, and then we brought it back to attention, and now we're jumping into the deep end of the pool. And I feel this is kind of a step backwards for Swerve, and I get it. Maybe you don't need Swerve on this show necessarily, even though he's over with the fans, but I just don't feel this is a highlighted spot for Swerve. Since Keith Lee really doesn't feel important in AEW lore. So, I mean, I don't know. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on Keith Lee versus Swerve Strickland? I mean, this is kind of one of those times it's like, this isn't pay-per-view right now. It's TV instead of being on TV where it should be a pay-per-view, at least in my eyes.
Well, the thing is, it's hard because if you go based upon the Swerve Keith Lee storyline, you want to see Keith Lee go over. But the way they've been building Swerve in recent era, it's like you would think that Swerve should be going over. So it's like, who do they push as the end result? And
it has to be,
as a fan, emotionally invest in.
As a fan, I don't know. I think it's probably going to be Swerve, and I think Swerve has to win this to keep his momentum going. I mean, losing to Keith Lee, and I'm sorry, nothing against Keith Lee. Keith Lee is great, but AEW and Tony Khan haven't done anything to make him feel relevant. And I guess if you beat Swerve, you might be able to say he's relevant, but I think it would do more hurt to where Swerve sits than helping Keith Lee come up. Like, I don't think Keith Lee beating Swerve is going to bring Keith Lee up in a way that would, level it out, and I think it would do more damage to Swerve. Not because Keith Lee is bad in the ring or Keith Lee doesn't deserve to be in that, but based on how he's been presented in AEW, he's got more time worrying about Shane Taylor and Ring of Honor than really anything else, and he just recently has come back from, the Ring of Honor purgatory or wherever he's been, and it's kind of like, right? Oh, I'm tearing down the house of Swerve. You're like, okay, cool, I'd like to see how this builds. Well, we just got that promo on Collision, and now we're already jumping into this match, and I'm like, this could have been a Revolution pay-per-view match.
Absolutely.
To let this re-simmer and start over and rebuild a little bit to at least make the field feel more important, to maybe bring Keith Lee, have Keith Lee get attacked by Swerve, to set a little more up than just to throw it on a pay-per-view. And of course, again, Tony Khan's trying to fill a pay-per-view because he waits till the freaking last show to go, oh, I have a pay-per-view, let me throw stuff. Mr. Z, your thoughts on...
I'm just going to keep throwing it at the wall, and hopefully something sticks. That's what it is.
Your thoughts here, Mr. Z.
Well, I mean, it was a rivalry at one point, but when was that? A year ago?
I
At
think
best?
so. I think we were looking at this
And
at
like
the end
you
of last year.
Yeah, and now we're gonna go ahead and be like, "Oh wow, well let's make it happen now." And no, that's not how this should work. They like you said, give it a few months, let it get to the next pay per view, give us something to invest in emotionally as a fan. Not, I'm going to tear down your house. Okay, Bearcat, I got you. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that. There's a cat there. I can't help it.
Damn you, Vince. Anyways, moving on. After that, we got Mariah May with Renee Young, and Mariah May says 2023 wasn't the best energy she was feeling. There wasn't enough glamour for Mariah May. So she's going to debut next week on the first Dynamite at the new year. 2024 is all about Mariah, and of course, Mariah attacked Rio last week, and so Rio comes up and chases Mariah down the ring, and then here comes Tony Storm, and because Tony Khan is a freaking genius, I don't want to criticize you, Tony. I don't want to come down on you, because then you'll cry, and then I'll be, anyways. So Tony Storm comes out of the back, running down, and they go into black and white. So anytime she's on the screen, we got to see her in black and white, unless she's just wrestling. Then we're safe. But I'm sick of this black and white. Why? I get when you do an entrance going to black and white, but when she's coming to running down the ring to help out her friend, you go into black and white. I don't know. Rio got the best of Tony. Luther pulls Tony out. This was just dumb. I'm over it. I don't know how you guys feel. Mr. Clarke, I know you're a big fan, or were a big fan, or want to be a big fan of Tony Storm. This time was Tony Storm. And it has some great attributes, but the black and white, it's getting bad as it goes. The further it goes, the worse it just seems to get. For me, I know. But Mr. Clarke, your thoughts?
It started good, and like a lot of things that I'm trying not to be overcritical. Like I said, it started good, but yes, I'm with you, and it's going down.
Yeah, this train is taking up.
There's no reason to use the black and white as much as it's used.
No, this train is taking off.
Like if they would do one thing if they did put like a DVD package together or something, they had Tony Storm matches and they put it all in black and white after the fact.
Yes.
But on live TV, this is just ridiculous.
Mr. Z?
I think I just mentioned it a second ago. It reminds you of Shades of Kane when he used to wrestle under the red light back in the day. And it got to the point where it was so annoying you couldn't see anything. It's just, I'm done. We don't need it.
At least the red light stayed consistent. It wasn't cut in, cut out. That's the other thing that makes us black and white. It's like in the random moments, she's coming down to attack Riho, and we got to go black and white. And it's just like, why?
I mentioned something about black and white earlier and got fired before we got on air, so I'm not going to say anything else. Here we go.
Nobody's trigger happy.
Anyways, from there, then we got another interview package. I guess Khan wanted to throw a bunch of interviews. Anyways, now we got Type Flight and Action Andretti. They're here doing an interview, and then Orange Cassidy, Rocky Romero, and Shrimp Beretta walk in. And now we're getting a match between these six guys on Rampage. Cool. Who cares? Rampage is a joke of a show. It may not be on the air much longer. Is there anything you guys want to add to that? I mean, it's like...
Not a bloody thing. Top Flight at one time had a chance to be something special, but because of injuries by both brothers, it's just like, I don't care anymore. I just don't.
And so now, usual, a New Japan guy will stick them with the best friends, because that's what they got to do.
Well, it's Pockets and one of the best friends. Thank you, Jim Cornette.
Why?
Pockets.
Cornette, we love you.
Then we got to be careful. Then we're really we're aligning with the enemy, you know. Then we got a video package of Miro, because guess what? Since Miro said after Andrade El Idolo's tournament's over, then he's going to go after him. So this Saturday, we're already going to get Miro and Andrade El Idolo. Not even a confrontation is set up for the event. No, we just get a video package, and then we told that Andrade El Idolo will face Miro on Saturday. at World's End because Tony Khan needed another match, and he's like,
match.
CJ Perry on a forklift. Cool. Awesome. Great. Who cares? And again, I mean, why do we got to? Why? You didn't even let the tournament just ended tonight. Now you're already going. Okay, Miro and Andrade, you wrestle on Saturday. Let's not build a feud. Let's just go at it. Make it make sense, Tony. That's the key. You can have good wrestling, yes, but if you don't have all the other things that bring it together to draw interest, why do I care about Miro and Andrade? Because Andrade's aligned himself with CJ Perry and Miro's jealous. I mean, we found out what happened last time Miro lost his wife to some other man, and yeah, that didn't work out too well. But Miro, please go.
Has 2 weeks left. Maybe he might focus a little bit better when football season's done.
Unless they go in the playoffs. Remember that. They're in the playoffs right now.
Oh,
they're in the hunt.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
they may win the division even. Anywho. Yeah, no, I don't know why we're doing this. Miro, can you please go back to WWE under Hunter and maybe we can get Rusev Day?
It's like who even wins that match? Like, what is the match you don't even care about at this point between
Who cares?
Miro and Andrade?
Who cares? I'm sorry, I don't want to be rude to them. I love Andrade Alilo. He can be great when they allow him to do what he does, and even AEW doesn't really do it. And Miro is one of these guys that it's like, I mean, what's the difference between Miro and Rusev? Rusev at least got to hold some titles. Oh, Miro did hold the TNT title briefly, but we kind of all forgotten about that pretty much.
Oh, man.
Miguel literally forgot.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Miro was better in WWE. Rusev was better. I mean, they had Rusev Day over. Miro now is just kind of like, this is going to be your bathroom break. This is going to be get your snack break. This is going to be that match in the middle of the card that everybody goes up and, takes a time out from a show that's probably going to be way too long again. Oh, I'm hearing this is probably going to be a 4-hour show with a 0 hour, so probably 5 hours altogether.
Oh, that crowd in the venue. Oh,
Miguel's expression. Damn.
Anyways, so suddenly Don Callis and the Don Callis family's back, and we're doing the portrait crap again. So, Kyle Fletcher's there, Takeshna's there, and Powerhouse. Well, no, we'll just say Hobbs because he ain't a powerhouse. He's a young boy that got punked out when he got duct taped to the rings.
He body slammed Paul White,
and then he got duct taped to the rings, and he couldn't get out of it. He can slam Paul White on a car, but he can't break duct tape.
So we're recycling gimmicks.
I don't know. Anyway, so we got Don Callis. He gives everybody a picture, and all of a sudden we got Sammy Guevara back. We got to return because Chris Jericho needs help, and so now we get Sammy Guevara playing the role of Big Show in WWE. Now Sammy Guevara, who was heel, who turned against Chris Jericho to align with the Don Callis family, went and had a baby, and now he's back, and now he's turning on the Don Callis family to realign with Jericho, and doesn't shake hands with Jericho, but hugs Jericho, and now he's aligned with Jericho, and Sammy Guevara's face again for how many weeks they need him to be face before he goes back heel and turns on Jericho again. It's the circle of life. And hopefully this isn't the restart of either the Inner Circle or the JAS or whatever new group Jericho needs to stay relevant.
No. Don't give him that idea. Don't do it. Even though Sammy still wears the vest, don't give him the idea.
So anyways,
it wasn't an Inner Circle. It wasn't, JAS.
Right,
it was all about him. Had his daughter's name on the back and all that kind of stuff.
Anyways, oh yeah, and Sammy's mad because Don painted a picture of the Don Callis family with Sammy holding his baby. And the reason he's mad at Don Callis is like, why did you put my baby in that picture? Who gave you permission? Like, seriously? This is what you're mad about? That your baby was in a picture that was painted with the rest of these people that you're supposed to be associated with? I mean, this was the stupidest reason to turn heel. Oh, you put my baby in that picture. Like, really?
Well, that wasn't the only reason. That was just the opening line.
It was stupid. It was dumb.
Because Don Callis, while he was down, Don Callis did not call him.
Oh, ooh, sad day. You're having a baby. Do you really want anybody calling? You're like, yeah, thank you for calling. Click. You know what? When you have a newborn baby, the most exciting thing you're looking for is a fucking sleep. Don't be fucking calling nobody who just had a baby.
Yes.
Miguel knows.
Yes.
Miguel knows. The newborn baby, you're like, phone goes on mute and off till you can sleep. Somebody calls you to go, I heard you had a baby. You're like, yeah, bye, click. Promise you that.
But think about this.
And normally
it's
I'm
actually
half
not as
asleep
bad as you're
answering
making it out
that.
to be. It's not as bad as you're making it out to be because there are those who don't like having having people take pictures of their children, let alone
I know.
having them.
I know there's Karens out there that got this weird idea. Oh, we don't want a baby in our picture. You're gonna steal their soul.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Right.
Anyway, so the Don Callis family and Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara get it, and then Ricky Starks and Big Bill come down because they're feuding with Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, but Omega's out indefinitely. And then the lights go out. We don't know if it was a technical issue. We didn't know if the Devil was coming out. We didn't know if the House of Black was coming out. No! The other people who can turn out the lights. Sting's here, and Darby Allin back from being at top of K2 or Mount Everest or whatever mountain he went and climbed. Darby Allin did that stuff quick in his back, and so now we got them out here, and Jericho looked shocked to see Sting here. And other notes on Sting, Bill Goldberg's trying to push to be the man that gets the retirement match with Sting, just if anybody hasn't heard that. And Big Bill Goldberg and Tony Khan have been in talks. It might be a dual retirement match because Big Bill is mad because Vince promised him a retirement match, and Goldberg did everything Vince wanted, and then Vince said bye. Anyways, so you know what this led to? This led to another match, because why not? So now we're going to get the Don Callis family of, I think, Takeshita and Powerhouse Hobbs teaming up with Big Bill and Ricky Starks against Sting, Darby Allin, Chris Jericho, and Sammy Guevara. And now you're like, God, going, damn it. Kenny, Kenny, we're sorry. This is what we get in replacement of a tag team match that was already kind of I mean, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho against Big Bill and Ricky Starks is already kind of a match, and now we're going to a match where we're just like, why? Why do we need any of this? Why do we need all these guys in the ring? Why do we need an 8-man tag match? I hope this opens the match. I hope it lasts 10 minutes and we get through it, and the baby faces win, and we go, yay, thank you, let's go.
No, some people have creative, so they're going to be like, I need to go 20.
Oh, that's right. Everybody's got to get their moves in. That's right. That's going to be a 20-minute match because everybody's got to get a finisher in. And then we got to get the long tap outs with submission. Oh, my God. Garbage. Roderick Strong's here. Roderick Strong is here to prove the MJF's the devil. He's got a stupid little poster with all the yarn going every which direction.
Why is he wearing a neck brace? Why?
That's his neck strong. Be neck strong. Don't play down on neck health, health awareness, neck strong. He got out of the wheelchair, but he didn't take it off. He's walking again, but he hasn't officially taken off the neck brace.
He took it off when he wrestled last week.
He takes it off every time he wrestles and puts it right back on. That's the stupid gimmick they're running.
Jeez.
Anyways, in the highlight of the night, we got Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson, and a good solid match. Very good match between these two. I think we all assumed Bryan was going to win this tournament in this sense. But again, when they started talking last week that Eddie Kingston had never beat Bryan, they put a lot of speculation in the possibilities that Eddie Kingston was going to win this. And after several backfists and a power bomb, he stacks Bryan. We get a 1, 2, 3. Eddie Kingston wins. A good solid match. It went 22 minutes, 30 seconds. Eddie Kingston is your winner. Eddie Kingston wins the Blue League. Jon Moxley wins the Yellow League. Moxley comes out afterwards. They talk. Moxley plays up Eddie Kingston, how great he is and everything he's done, how awesome he is, but tells Eddie he's already beat him in his head because Eddie can't beat him. And we're rehashing the same story. Basically, you've never beat me. You're not going to beat me. Yada, yada, yada. And Eddie Kingston's, I'm the king of the bums. I'm going to do what I do. And Moxley tells Kingston, oh, you think you're going to win and be a Triple Crown winner like all your heroes? I don't know who his heroes are or who these other Triple Crowns that we never get to hear about on AEW TV since the Triple Crown's such a big deal, but you really haven't built any storyline. Come on, Tony Khan, at least give it to me on Saturday. Give me a video package about the meaning of being a Triple Crown winner. Give me something to be like, okay, it makes sense instead of just like, oh, let's be a Triple Crown winner. This is why I don't like the tournament. And you can say I'm not a professional wrestling fan because I don't like the tournament, but the reason I don't like the tournament is because you put people in the tournament that necessarily didn't need to be there. or didn't make sense to be there. You booked these matches in a way that it just didn't make sense, and then you added in a title for no reason, and then you went and said, "Oh, we got to have a semifinal match," and then one of the semifinal matches, the winner should have been a winner after the tournament. This semifinal match was a lot better than the other one, but again, if Eddie Kingston doesn't beat Moxley and become the Triple Crown winner, then Moxley would be the safe bet. This needs to be a match for Eddie to get his flowers. This needs to be a crowning moment for Eddie in AEW. This needs to be his moment. If he doesn't win, I hope people riot on that one. This will be one time I hope people riot, because that's the only. There's no reason. If you give this Triple Crown to Moxley, it's playing the safe bet. I'm sorry. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson, and the tournament?
I was one of the people who absolutely believed that this was built for Bryan Danielson, and the fact that Eddie Kingston went over made me very happy. I was very shocked, but very happy. Talking about the Triple Crown winners, and allegedly, professional wrestling history is AEW history. Allegedly, like, if it happened in wrestling, we're going to acknowledge it. The problem is Tony Khan is not acknowledging as much as he needs to tell the full story, to give us a reason to invest.
Yeah.
And that's all I can really say. Like, there's nothing more I can really say about this match. Like, if you watched it, you enjoyed it probably. If you're if the in-ring work aspect of it. As far as story, we'll see. It really depends on what the results of the final is.
Yeah, and I know you're more excited about a Moxley Eddie Kingston match than I am, because it's kind of like, we've been here. I get continuing to feud in the story, but it was kind of a weird way to get here, and I'm just like, I can only assume that.
Sure, it's weird.
I can only assume that Eddie has to win. I mean, there's no point in Moxley winning, because Moxley losing doesn't hurt Moxley, because he's losing to Eddie, and Eddie's done everything to earn the right to be there and to win this at this point. So, I mean, if Moxley wins, I think you could really, you could cause a riot. Now, of course, the AEW loyal. Okay, well, we won't get into that. Mr. Z.
Well, first off, like I said, I'm really happy with the outcome. Like I said, I thought this, like you said, like everyone was saying, this is Danielson's tournament to win, because he's not going to be able to compete in the G1. Okay, now you threw a curveball at us. You let Kingston win, which is fine. He is the New Japan Strong Champ, the ROH Heavyweight Champ. Potentially the hopefully he is the Triple Crown winner, which would be great. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I'd say if one of the other wins, one of them's going to have to show up to Wrestle Kingdom and defend at least the strong belt and drop it.
He can't drop the strong belt. You don't get this. They're not. The titles are cohesive.
Wow!
From everything, okay. Unless I'm wrong, but the way they have preached this is going to be a Triple Crown. Whoever is the Triple Crown, whoever wins the tournament is going to have the Triple Crown. All three of these titles will always be on the line when they defend it, and then whoever is the Triple Crown champion next year, when this tournament comes around, because it's supposed to be an annual tournament at this point, will be put into the tournament, and the belts will go back on the line like they did this time.
Oh, okay.
From everything I'm getting,
well,
either
way, I'd like to see the winner at Wrestle Kingdom at some point, because it'll happen, and maybe at some of these live events coming up to defend that title. But,
well, I just don't. I don't know how you do it, and what are you going to do if you get TV deal for Ring of Honor, which is supposed to be one of Tony Khan's thing? How are you going to have a TV show for Ring of Honor and your Ring of Honor title be tied up into a Triple Crown? I mean, how can you have a TV show without a world champion that you can't really as easily move the title around and build somebody else as a Ring of Honor world champion? If you have all these three of these titles
has
tied
a
up,
problem building his champions as it is. I mean,
yep.
We've said it before.
I know.
The World Heavyweight title does not feel important. That TNT belt is headlining the pay-per-view at this point.
And that is kind of getting, with this storyline, I'm kind of like getting over it. And I know everybody's like, I know a lot of people are excited about this match, but I'm kind of like, I'm done with it already. Like, I'm just not.
Coming back to Triple Crown.
Go ahead. You're good.
Coming back to the Triple Crown Championship and that whole conundrum. Now that Tony Khan only has one person he has to work with, and that's new President Tanahashi.
Woo! Uh-oh.
I don't know how this
That's
Triple
gonna
Crown.
be interesting.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how this Triple Crown's going to work. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, especially with the Ring of Honor World Title, that's Ring of Honor's biggest belt. And if you put a Ring of Honor, if you have Ring of Honor pay-per-views, you have to have the Ring of Honor World Title on the line. So is it the Triple Crown? So the Ring of Honor title is really non-existent? Because it sounds like you created a new.
That was the problem with Death by Final Battle. Excuse me. That's why the women's title main evented. Even though Kingston was on the show, he was not the main event.
Yeah.
Because of everything that was happening with the Continental Classic.
And that's my thing. It's like if the Ring of Honor champion, the Ring of Honor World Championship, and then you created this new belt, the Continental Champion, but it's going to be a Triple Crown belt or Triple Crown title. It's always defended, so all three belts are on the line. It's like even your new belt is like, why did you even create a new belt? I mean, other than to make it a Triple Crown, I don't know where this seems so wrong and confusing, and I am like, because honestly, yes, I could see that New Japan needs their belt back, let it go over there. The Ring of Honor World title needs to go on somebody else that can be in Ring of Honor and help structure somebody that can be built in Ring of Honor to eventually come on to AEW and be somewhere in the picture. And then Eddie could go on with this Continental title. But from everything I'm getting, these titles are solidified as a Triple Crown. It's not just a one-time thing. I mean, the way they painted, the way that it's been told
right now, and I'm just like.
So I don't think you can break these belts up. I mean, at some point they're gonna have to break these belts up. It's not gonna work. You're gonna kill Ring of Honor because you won't have a Ring of Honor champion. The people want the Ring of Honor World title on the line, not a Triple Crown winner with an AEW and a New Japan Pro Wrestling title. You're not gonna make Ring of Honor feel special. New Japan at some point is gonna want to take that title and do something with it, or give it up and just retire it. So is Tony Khan going to have somebody carrying a retired title belt?
Given the new layout of the New Japan World on that they just updated, they might not have the showcase like they were doing with the LA Dojo. So,
well, I'm hearing a lot of things are going to change with the new the president or the new man in charge. I hear there's going to be a lot of big changes that may not be as favorable as they have been. Some of this may go back to old school Japan style, that there's a little bit of a difference. I don't know. That may be more your area. I'm just hearing murmurs of the man.
Yeah, because I'm wondering what they're gonna do with this, with the way they've been working with the women at this point too. Because if they're gonna go back to that direction, they might not showcase them no more.
Whoever's taking charge, I don't know the name, or let alone I can't say the name. He's supposed to be more old school style of Japan wrestling. He's more relatable. He might be like the next Inoki coming son than Tony Khan ever will be. I don't know. That's just what I've heard. I don't know.
Well, considering new president Tanahashi he's still an active wrestler. Now, granted, he's going more and more part-time, it feels like.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Like he's
Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From what I understand,
so we'll see. Because I mean, Tanahashi's a good dude. I'm pretty sure what direction he wants to go into is going to benefit New Japan. But he'll probably want to go in the same direction as everyone else and get on a worldwide scale than just being based out of Japan.
Yes. But what I hear is going to be more focused New Japan. The relationship Tony Khan has with a lot of people may be souring. Tony Khan may be not having a lot of these relationships that he used to have. I mean, it already sounds like he's lost faith in Warner Discovery. And what's getting scary is now that merger looks like it's going to go through, and we're going to get Warner Discovery Paramount. Woo! But it looks like we may be seeing Raw on TBS or TNE. The more I hear that if you listen to Tony Khan on his last scrum, he sounded kind of defeated, kind of like he's trying to spin it good, but it doesn't look like it is as good as it once was. And this is where a lot of people are speculating that the reason when Tony Khan was on the first scrum and he was all upset, but then at the end he was all fiery, ready to fight. A lot of people think that Tony Khan knows that he's losing his deal with Warner Discovery. But now he's going to go find someplace else to put AEW TV and do what he's going to do to fight and be a contender on some level. So, anyways, back to AEW Dynamite before we get way off on the other tangents. We had a backstage segment with the non-Renee girl. I can't think of her name. Lexi Nair, yes.
Lexi.
Lexi was sitting with Christian Cage, and Christian was with Nick Wayne and Mama Wayne, as she's called, or Mother Wayne. And Christian wants to know why Adam's not here, yada, yada, yada. We get this segment. And then we go to commercial. Then we come back, and here comes Copeland charging into the dressing room and just starts beating everybody up. So we don't even get a sit-down interview. We just get angry Adam Copeland. Like Judgment Day had done him wrong still. I think he's mistaken Christian.
We just totally bypassed the Chris Statlander Sky Blue match?
No, that's after this. And the reading, this is after
I got
this.
a dollar that says Mama Wayne takes a concerto.
Anyways,
the backstage fight didn't happen until a little bit later in the show.
Well, the way it's listed here. Yeah, snuck in at and allow at least one more attack from him. Okay. Yeah, no, somebody wrote this the way I'm reading it. Yeah, they just wrote it wrong. Because what I'm reading on the notes here is that the attack by Christian Cage. Or Adam Copeland. So. Anyways, I mean, it was not important. This was just we're going to have a sit-down interview, but we didn't get anything. We just had Adam Copeland attack Christian. Cool. They're having their match for the TNT title. It's a no DQ match. A lot of people think it should have been a steel cage or a ladder match. I totally agree. I think this is a wasted match. I'm over it. The TNT title needs to go off of Christian Cage. Does not need to go to Adam Copeland. Needs to go to anybody other than these two. Why everybody's involved in it, I don't know. This is just, I don't know. Nick Wayne's mom killed it for me. I'm like, I'm over it as soon as she joined the whole thing. You guys want
to do any kind of remix song with Nick Wayne's mom's got it going on?
I got
she hasn't got it going on. She's AEW's version of Judy Bagwell. AEW wants to be WCW so bad they keep doing dumb stuff that WCW used to do. Now they brought Ric Flair in. They've got
anybody
Sting.
Want to take that
They brought in Paul White. I mean, might as well. He might as well suck it up. He brought in Ric Flair after everything, and so might as well bring in Hogan. Why not bring Hogan in and let him be involved in this crap? Why not we just shoot ourselves in the foot?
No, don't do that. Don't give him any more ideas.
He may be bringing Goldberg in, so. Anyways, then we get the women's match that should have never happened on this TV show because there was no build to this. So recently, Sky Blue has finally aligned herself with Julia Hart, not when she should have aligned herself with Julia Hart, when it was right there. That's what the story was telling us. Then we got Swerve. She wasn't going to join with Julia Hart. Now all of a sudden she's joining with Julia Hart to take down Abaddon. We bring back Thunder Rosa, and now we have Julia Hart and Sky Blue versus Abaddon and Thunder Rosa on Collision. And now all of a sudden, because Tony Khan wakes up on Christmas Day and goes, I want to see Chris Statlander and Sky Blue in the ring together, we get Chris Statlander and Sky Blue. No story, no reason. We're just going to throw this match on. This is a match that should be built to a pay-per-view. This should have been a match that you could have started.
Was that a fever dream he was having?
This is the match that should have been. This was the match that you could have had a World's End if you would have started if you would have had Chris Statlander confront Sky Blue tonight on Dynamite and had something happen and had them build, have a feud or say, hey, let's fight. If you want to fight, okay, I'll see you at World's End. Why just throw this match together when this could be a match that you could actually have a storyline and a purpose to? But no, let's just throw it on free TV. Say, screw everybody. I just want something good to look at. I know everybody enjoys looking at these two women. They're very beautiful, no doubt. But I mean, if it doesn't serve no purpose, it doesn't have any reason, why are we doing it? This is what's stupid. This is what's bad about Tony Khan and the way he books. He just puts people together for no reason. Hey, let's look at last week's. They did like 700. I mean, they lost over 100,000 viewers on last week's Dynamite in the first 15 minutes. And then they gave us Roderick Strong and the Commander, and it's like everybody tuned out of that crap. This is another moment of like, why are you going to put two people together, especially when this could mean something? This could be a storyline you could build on. This could be one of these legendary feuds between these two girls that could be their history. They could continue to have feud, but you don't even build the starting of this feud right. You kind of had it over here, but then you swerved it back this way because you want to be so smart, freaking Tony. Let me swerve everybody. Keep swerving everybody. You're pulling that Vince McMahon crap where Vince is like, oh, they think they don't know what I'm going to do. Watch this. I'm just going to screw with them to screw with them. And that's what Tony Khan's doing. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on this match? It was a good match. I don't want to take away from the girls. Go ahead.
I'm trying to remember the name of the guest commentator.
Was it?
He's mainly in Ring of Honor now. Stokely Hathaway.
Stokely, yeah. Stokely was there.
Yeah, Stokely. The story of this match was mainly between Stokely and Statlander. When if you really paid attention to commentary.
Yeah.
Sky Blue had very limited to do with it besides the fact that she was wrestling in the match. Like, what are we doing? And to understand that storyline, you have to watch Ring of Honor, which most of us don't.
Yeah,
whether it's because of time, money, whatever the reason is.
And of course, Julia Hart helped Sky Blue win. So you're hitting Statlander, and then Sky Blue got the Code Blue off the top rope. So we had Julia Hart there to help that out. And then after the match, we get Julia Hart and Sky Blue celebrating, and then Abaddon's music comes on, and Abaddon comes down, and then we get Willow Nightingale. We get
bypassing Willow Nightingale coming down.
Well, that was after that.
Cluster fluff.
Yeah.
No.
Willow Nightingale came down to check on Statlander, and then they backed up the ramp, and then Abaddon came up. It was a clusterfuck. It was a cluster show. It was just Mr. Z. Your thoughts on all of this, and don't. Yeah, watch yourself.
What? I didn't say anything.
I know what your brain is thinking because you said it before we started the show. So yes, I know what your brain's thinking. I can say Sky Blue, Io Sky, Kairi Sane.
Okay, stop. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. I'm just looking at Twitter and seeing all the praises for the great show tonight, and it wasn't.
Yes,
It wasn't great.
It had its high points. So yeah,
It wasn't great.
They could have.
That had one great match.
Could have been. Yeah, but this one there was no point for it, and like you said, they could have built something up for this weekend. Give us something to like sink our teeth into, but I guess not. It's Tony Khan booking 101. I'll just leave it at that.
I'm almost not worried about. We joke that Tony Khan and Vince McMahon might be in league booking together. I'm more worried about. Are you sure he's not talking to Vince Russo?
Well, we've joked about Vince Russo.
I think
too.
he is.
I think we talked about Vince Russo on this past week's weekly roundup.
Oh, here we go. Here's a good tweet response. Damn it, TK, you sold me on World's End. How?
Sold what? Sold what? What did he sell you on?
Night of. Here we go. I got one. I'm gonna keep going. A great night of pro wrestling.
I mean, I'm okay with the matches, but not much for the storytelling.
Anyways.
Okay, here's a good one. What are you doing with Swerve, man? You failed as a booker completely.
That's all I got to say about that. Anyways, then we went backstage.
We need to do a show, just one show of these tweets, just to make fun of them because some of them are great, and I'll take it.
Dummy, yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
So then we're backstage with Renee, who's with Ruby Soho and Saraya, and Ruby's going to face Marina Shafir at some point. I don't know. And then Saraya introduces. Did we catch her name? Because the notes don't say the girl's name. The psycho chick.
Oh, it was what's her name? Harley. She was with QTV.
Oh. Anyways, so Saraya introduces Harley to Ruby, and Ruby kind of gets a phone call from Angelo, and now Sheree is cool with Angelo. I guess I missed all this because I don't care about the stupid storyline. And then Crazy Heart.
She's doing a double face thing.
Yeah.
She's doing a two-face thing.
And then the crazy chick, Harley, pulls a knife out of her dress, and yeah. I don't know what any of this served a purpose for. I mean, you wasted brain cells for everything. and we were down to the last 5 minutes before the hour hit. We had 5 minutes left. We went to a commercial break, and then we came back, and then I'm like, well, this match isn't happening. There's no way this match is going to happen. Of course, we got a 5-minute overrun. At least I don't think Tony Khan announced it this week, or I didn't hear about it. Of course, I wasn't paying attention, so maybe that was the other better thing. It's just not to pay attention to this shit. And we got a 5-minute overrun with a 5-minute overrun. I can't wait till you go to a new network and they're like, no, sir, we can't give you a 5-minute overrun. Oh, I don't know how to book my show in the time frame I'm given. Well, then we'll just cancel your show? What? Yeah. Sorry, this is what's going to happen. You can't go to another network and get this privilege. TBS and TNT are the only channels I know that have ever kind of ran. Back in the day, they let WCW did it, but it was for good reason. And of course, back in the day, TBS more than TNT their shows always started at 5 minutes after the hour. Every show was kind of adjacent that way. Anyways, it was always Saturday night at 6:05 Eastern or whatever it was, for the old WCW Saturday night shows. Anyways. But
you
if he goes,
do it for WWE at times, but it wasn't a constant thing the way it was with TBS and TNT.
And that's fine. But even WCW did it every once in a while, and they do it more heavier in those weak battles. But it served a purpose. Tony doesn't serve any purpose. He just pushes it into those extra 5 minutes. It's not like he's doing anything that needs the 5 minutes of something special. It's just he's letting things overrun. Instead of telling these guys, you've got this much time, get it done in this much time, this is what you got to do, or cutting out stupid promos between Saraya and Ruby Soho that had no purpose to serve anything except align Harley with them or Saraya or whatever, who doesn't even know, who doesn't even care. Because
my question would be: is there anyone in production or in the gorilla position that's on a timer that knows the time? But
do we know if Tony Khan
does it himself?
Do we know if Tony Khan can tell time?
No.
I mean, can he read a digital clock? I don't know.
Oh goodness.
Anyways, so we went to a commercial break with like 5 minutes of the show left. Then we came back with like 3 minutes left of a show. Then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna run with this until it's over." And we're like going, "Okay, well the match hasn't even started, so I don't know how you can run anything till it's finished when it hasn't even started." So we have the Dapper Yapper in the ring, and he goes, "It's time for the main event," and then everything goes dead quiet. The crowd goes quiet. The announcers go quiet. Justin Roberts is quiet. Like, everybody's just kind of like, I mean, it was like a good minute of just dead silence across the board where everybody's going, what's going on? And finally, the two masked men come through the crowd. I guess maybe the masked men should be the Blackpool Combat Club because, I mean, that's how they come in, right? The same entranceway. Anyways, two masked men get in the ring or get up on the ring. Oh, yeah, no, they get in the ring. And then MJF's music plays and MJF comes out. And he comes down to the bottom of the ramp with the Ring of Honor World title. And one of the other Ring of Honor title was already in the ring with the referee. And then MJF, and I have to hit you, MJF, I'm sorry, because this is the major boo-boo on your part. You came with the AEW World title upside down. It was upside down. I'm like, how did anybody not see this man walking out? Hey, go. I'm like, I'm sorry. I love you, MJF. I love you, Max. Max, I love you. I respect you. You're a great talent. But yeah, you boo-booed here. I have to call you on it. You had the title upside down.
Someone in the back couldn't tell this man, hey, the belt's upside down.
You walk out of Gorilla and nobody go, hey, wait a minute. Like, it was glaring and obvious if you can see it on TV. Anyways, MJF's there. Samoa Joe's music hits. Samoa Joe doesn't show up. Eventually he comes on the screen as everybody's looking at the screen like, okay, what happened to him? And Samoa Joe's down in the back saying his knee. And Max decides to play hero and go, I'm going to do it. Don't worry about it. And MJF gets in the ring to face the two masked men. He puts up a pretty good fight. Then he gets outside with one of the masked men. And then another masked man calls out from under the ring while he's fighting the other masked man. And he gets hit in the back with a lead pipe. And then one of the masked men take MJF back in and hit him with the Heat Seeker and cover 1, 2, 3. And your winners are the Devil 1, the Devil 2, the Masked Man 1, the Masked Man 2, whoever these guys are.
Conquistador 1 and 2.
This was ridiculous, stupid, dumb. This
American
killed your
Gianna
show.
1 and 2?
SAT 1 and 2, Thing 1, Thing 2.
No, the SATs never wore masks.
Masked Marauder 1, the Masked Marauder 2. I mean, there was some other, I forget what was the tag team that Andre was in when he wore a mask. Because he was Giant Machine. Was it the Machines, I think? Or something like that?
Oh my god.
I don't know. Maybe it's the
old.
Maybe it's the Usos under the mask. We just don't know. Who knows? Could be anybody.
Jeez.
No.
Oh. I don't know. Anyways, this was stupid. We have Ring of Honor new tag team champions, and Tony Khan wants to get Ring of Honor on TV, but he gives them two guys we don't even know. We talk about giving. Maybe the Ring of Honor title should just be called vacant. They're vacant now because they belong to we don't know who the hell they are.
Oh, wow! Oh.
I don't know. You guys want to
not wrong.
You guys want to say anything about the match?
There was a match?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a match.
There was one?
Yeah, we did the old switcheroo with 3 guys.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Doink's back. Tony Khan has brought us back Doink. That's who it's going to be. It's going to be Doink, Dink, and Pink, and Link, and Tinky Winky, and La La Po. I don't know. It's Doink 1 and 2 and 3. How many Doinks will be under the ring next week? Yay. Anyways, after the match.
WrestleMania 9 all over again.
After the match, the matchmen start beating down MJF, and Joe comes wobbling out with the chair on one leg. The guys in the back are trying to stop him, but they suck at their job. And then Joe gets in the ring. He chases off the devil freaking people, and then he turns to check on MJF. He acts like he's upset that he didn't protect him. Then the devil comes up on the screen, and we flicker, "A pleasure doing business with you," which is a catch line of Samoa Joe's. I don't know how many people know, but he's said that before. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Joe is faking it, smacks MJF across the back and starts beating him up, takes him over to the corner and screams, "I did this to you," and he muscle busters MJF. The show goes off the air with Joe holding the title over a downed MJF, and the whole world is going, if he's the devil, then we've been duped. And so then my question is just, are we going to get Jay White going after Samoa Joe? I mean, Jay White got taken out by the devil. Does he not have a right to want to go after Samoa Joe? Or has he completely forgotten about that since he got buried in a tournament that he probably shouldn't have been in anyways, because he already lost to the world champion who was on one leg. So he kind of I don't know why he was in the tournament to begin with. Even though he's great and Jay White and deserves it as the professional wrestler, but the character that AEW felt, you're kind of like, does he really deserve to be there?
You know the answer, Miguel.
I mean, it's nothing like
you can't keep asking that question because you know the answer.
I mean, and I don't want to take
good on paper. That's all.
I don't want to take away from Jay White. Does he deserve to be in a tournament? Yes, as Jay White the wrestler. Jay White AEW creative character? No. It's facts. You can't lose to a world champion and be thrown in the tournament and supposed to be like, oh, okay, he's special. Especially when the guy was on one leg, and especially since you're supposed to fight Adam. I don't know. I think Adam Cole was supposed to be the devil. I think he got injured. I think they went with Joe as a backup replacement. I think this thing went sour quick, and it just soured out now. I'm glad. Hopefully this means this is going to... Well, it's not going to end, because we have Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, and I don't know. Hooded Man 1 and Hooded Man 2. What else can we call these guys? The Goon Squad?
Big Bill and Starks underneath those masks?
No, not tall enough. I think it's Mike... I think it's Mike Bennett and Matt Taven. It looks more like their structure and build. That's where I think
that 3-man team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right? That would make sense.
So where's the fourth
the
devil? There's the other thing. I guess Wardlow was busy doing something else.
Jeez.
He
I don't know.
Find him today.
Mr. Z, your thought?
I couldn't finish my dinner because of this. Like, I want my last 5 minutes back that they took away from me.
I think it was 10, but hey, who's counting? 5 minutes, and then they cut in the big. They cut. You know how Tony Khan's getting boosting his ratings is that The Big Bang Theory comes on after Dynamite, and you know how well loved that show is. So that's where everybody gets their viewing. All the people turning in to see The Big Bang Theory, and they got a Big Bang Theory. The start of the show off, probably going, "What the fuck is this shit?" Tell me when I'm telling
Why
lies,
is there hooded
right?
men in the ring?
Anyways, Mr. Clarke, can you put a positive spin on this? Can you save this show that was okay? You could justify it. It could almost be good, and then we got this shit ending that you're just like, this is where we're going with this. Can you spin this in some positive light?
I think we're still debating on if Joe is for sure the devil or not. Because why would you send yourself a video? Pleasure doing business with you. I had no knowledge, and I've followed Joe's career for a long time, that he's previously said pleasure doing business with you as a catch line, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
He said it not as a regular catch line, but he said it's been a pleasure doing business with you. I know I think he might have said it in WWE, but I'm recalling he said it in TNA at some point.
Which wouldn't be surprised depending on the story.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a common catchphrase, but it may be a fitting thing. But he said I did.
Easter egg.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, he did say I did this to you. So is he the full devil? Maybe, maybe not. I think he is, and I hope it is because I want this over with. So I'm just gonna go with Joe. It was Joe all along. Yay! I think it was meant to be Adam Cole, but Adam Cole got injured. I mean, I think he seriously got injured. So
I agree
Nick
with you
Wayne's
there.
mom. Yes.
Lord.
Thank you.
no, thank you. You know what? I'll just let's see.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay. No. We're good.
Are you watching this feed live, sir?
No, I am not.
You should be watching this feed live right now. You should tune in and see the picture.
Anywho, I can justify the wrestling, the in-ring work. I can't not justify all the so-called throwing darts and see if this shit sticks stories. Last-minute building crap. That is Tony's biggest problem at the moment.
There we go. Once the feed catches up.
No, you did not. What'd you do to me?
Well, once the feed catches up, you'll know. See, that's why you got to watch the show.
Oh no! Oh God, why are we messing?
You want to come out of left field with randomness? So you
that's cold, man. That's cold. That's cold.
That's how fired you are.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, welcome back. I see you're coming back. There we go. Give it time to catch up. You're back on live. Anyways.
Don't worry, I'm mentally telling you you're number one, just so you know.
I'm sure. Thank you.
Anyways, I don't know. Mr. Clarke, where do you go with this?
Even to justify this show, everything will depend on the pay-per-view. If it was worth investing in or not. For everything, every match, every so-called story.
I don't even know if the pay-per-view. I don't even know if the pay-per-view can save what we got tonight by the end of it.
And for some, it won't, for sure. But for some of us, it's like, okay, maybe. But that's been a lot of pressure on the pay-per-view, also.
Oh, do you know who made their AEW debut on pre-TV tonight? Scott Taylor was on a pre-show or a dark match before AEW went on the air. Came out to the old Too Cool theme of some sorts. Yeah, Scott Taylor, Scotty Too Hottie.
I guess you could do that like on a dark match, but yeah, you couldn't do that on TV.
No.
So yeah, that's the highlight.
This pay-per-view better have a big payoff at this point because we're
a big payoff. Several. I'm saying we are using Swerve's theme here. Big pressure.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Okay, but here's my question: Where? Where's there anything that's really going to pay off?
Having Eddie win.
That's about the only thing that I can see that can be a decent payoff that can maybe salvage that a little bit. But otherwise, I look at it going, there's nothing there that I'm going to watch the show because I'm going to report on it. But I'm like, there's nothing there that's really making me go, yay, this is going to be an amazing show. This is going to be an amazing pay-per-view.
We get to see Riho on pay-per-view again, I guess.
Yep.
I guess you got to be a Riho fan. You got to know the history of Riho. I mean, yes, she's the first AEW's women's champion, but after that, was she ever felt like important?
The championship curse.
It's just what I'm saying. And I mean, look at this. Oh, and we got Hook versus Wheeler Yuta for the FTW title on the pre-show. We got Miro versus Andrade, which nobody's going to really. I mean, can you really get excited about that? Oh,
that
and
might be a good match, but
it's not about the. It's again, all these matches will probably be good in-ring work, no doubt. I don't want to take that away. If anybody ever gets that wrong, the in-ring work is not what I'm after. I look at the in-ring work. These matches are usually pretty good in-ring. It's the other stuff. You got to make it make sense. You got to give me more to bite into. Just putting on wrestling for wrestling's sake, it's like, meh. I can go to my local VFW hall and probably watch wrestling for wrestling's sake if I just want to watch wrestling, and a lot cheaper and not really care. Here, I want to care because I want to see AEW be successful, because if AEW is successful, then WWE is successful and everybody's doing good and all these people get that money. But when it's like, nah.
I understand your point, but this is a pay-per-view. The in-ring should be good regardless of everything else.
No, but the in-ring will be good. But if it does,
for his wife.
If who?
They're fighting over Miro's wife at this
Miro's
point.
not even fighting over CJ Perry. He's just beating anybody that aligns him with aligns themselves with her, because he doesn't want her there in some weird twisted. I don't know. I guess he's old age and thinks she needs to be barefoot pregnant in the kitchen. I don't know.
And she's already barefoot.
So she's partly there. Anyways, on the 0 hour, we have Hook versus Wheeler Yuta for the FTW. FTW rules apply. We also have a 20-man battle royal for an anytime, anywhere TNT title shot. Oh, great. Let me repeat that again. We're going to have a 20-man battle royal for an anytime, anywhere TNT title shot. So we got to get everybody on the card, so that's how we fill that in. We're going to have Sting teaming with Darby Allin, Chris Jericho, and Sammy Guevara against Ricky Starks, Big Bill, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Kyle Fletcher, not Takeshita. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if anybody's. If you're a Sting fan, you're gonna love that. Darby Allin, it's good to see him back. I just hope he doesn't get hurt. Jericho doesn't do anything for me.
New Japan fans get to see Kyle Fletcher, I guess. I mean, that's that one.
But Ricky Starks, Big Bill, and Powerhouse Hobbs and Kyle Fletcher are taking the loss in this. You have Sting, who's on a retirement tour. You have Darby Allin, who just came back from his mountain trek. And you have Sammy Guevara, who just returned from having a baby. You already see who's winning that match. Ricky Starks, Big Bill, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher's probably eating that pin out of all of them. Unless Tony buries... unless Tony's going to bury Powerhouse Hobbs again. So, I mean, yeah, I don't see the tag team champions losing here. So I'm assuming Kyle Fletcher is going to eat the loss in this match.
That's Fletcher just won the TV title, the ROH TV title.
Yep.
A title that Joe just gave up.
No one knew that.
Nobody knew because they never announced anything really. Joe just gave up the title. So I mean, who cares about the Ring of Honor TV title?
I mean, it was briefly said on commentary, but it's like, and
exactly. We have Miro versus Andrade El Idolo. In ring, that match will be good. It'll be entertaining, but does it really serve a purpose? Is it going to be a one-off match before Miro goes after the next guy that lines himself with CJ Perry? Are they going to let Andrade beat Miro? Or is Andrade halfway out the door and ready to go back to be with his wife? And I would hope he's halfway out the door and ready to go back to WWE, where he could be joining the likes of Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Santos Escobar, and all of them, Carlito. I mean, I think Andrade could definitely fit into that beautifully. We have Sword Strickland versus Keith Lee, which is a year old in the building that we just decided to hit replay on. And We have Julia Hart defending the TBS title against Abaddon, which we know Abaddon's going to get buried because Julia Hart's not giving up that title yet. So, I mean, it's kind of like
For sure.
it's an opponent.
Yep.
Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland in a no DQ match for the TNT Championship. Obviously, I guess this is the way they're going to save the title on Christian, just so Adam can't get the title, but maybe... I don't know how you're going to do this. I don't know how, I guess... I'm hoping...
the winner of the 20-man Battle Royal come into play that night.
Well, will they come in after? I doubt Tony Khan's going to do that. It's probably going to be like on Dynamite. But anywho, we will see. It is interesting that it is anytime, anywhere. So there might be a swerve in all that. We will have to see.
So it's like the Money in the Bank.
The only thing I'm worried about in this match right now, and with Nick Wayne and Nick Wayne's mommy or mother Wayne attached to this, I'm just hoping we don't see Beth Phoenix show up to help out Adam Copeland.
Don't do that.
There's a possibility. Why would you add Nick Wayne's mom into this unless you're going to have Beth Phoenix show up in some form or another? I just have a feeling we're going to see Beth Phoenix in AEW.
I actually wouldn't mind that. I know. I'll be the asshole. I'll be the weird one.
Well, it's not. I mean, I get why you would. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. I'm just like, I don't need to see.
Nah.
It feels like rehashed history. It's just like a repeated story. I'm like, I don't want to see it again. I just want to see Adam and Christian do this match, one up, the best of the best, let them win, and then move on to where they're going so they can team up and go on a tag team title run so they can both just retire and go on their merry way, because I don't feel like there's anything left for either of these two to do. Christian Cage needs to drop the title to somebody that can, be elevated by this title. Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. Whoever wins, somebody in this battle royal needs to be somebody that can take that title from Christian and be elevated. Christian and Adam can tag up and go on a tag team title run, or go on a run to get the tag team titles, win the tag team titles, and after they're done, they can do like Adam Copeland wants to do, ride off in the sunset, retire as champions, possibly go back to WWE, like Christian get his Hall of Fame induction, and be done. Because I don't feel like there's much more either of these men have to give right now. I'm just kind of like, once Christian drops
that's
that,
the same way we feel about you feel about the Hardys too. Same thing. It's like give them something, and
the Hardys are
run
just
off into the sunset.
At least Christian and Adam can go and somewhat go at times. The Hardy Boys can barely go. When you look at where they were and what they did, and now you look at them and they're like, you can just tell they're in a lot of pain and they don't move nearly as. And of course, the rumor circulating is they're not happy, and Jeff's trying to get back to WWE. Jeff's flat out, like on videos, like, I'm ready to go back to WWE. So,
damn.
Tony Storm versus Riho for the.
What would WWE even do with them either?
Induct him into the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Induct him into the Hall of Fame and let him have one last little 1 year run, a little short run of being there and helping some of these baby faces that they could put over the Creeds, they could put over.
Yeah.
Imperium, the younger talent, and I think that's what you do with them. You bring them in, yeah, and you have them, and then you let them go, give them their Hall of Fame moment, and there. Tony Storm versus Riho for the AEW Women's Championship, which I don't know why you're going to care. It's a match in the. I can't say this match in the ring is going to be great because they're going to do the black and white cuts. Tony Storm is not. I don't know if she puts another silver plate in her ass and tries to win that way. It's going to be bad.
Damn.
Riho is, and no, but I don't know when anybody cares because everybody knows what the writing on the wall here is. Tony Storm is just getting fed Riho just to get a win, and then yay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
Riho's
like
champ again.
I mean, how can you get? There's nothing so far really to get too much excited for, outside of what the matches in the ring are going to be. And you got to separate those. When I say these things aren't exciting, there's not a lot there. In ring, Miro and Andrade should be a good match to watch. Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee are going to give us a good match. Christian Cage and Adam Copeland should give us a great disqualification match on how they play that off. Moxley and Kingston, of course, for the AEW. Oh gosh, John Moxley versus Eddie Kingston in the finals of the Continental Classic for the AEW Triple Crown title. From AEW, that's what they are calling this. It's not the Continental title, it's the AEW Triple Crown title. And John Moxley and Eddie Kingston in ring will be a good match, but the only way this works is Eddie Kingston winning. And this could be very dangerous because Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston, depending on where you put that card on the match, or that match on the card, could outshine your main event. This could, well, it might outshine everything else on this card, because then you have MJF versus Samoa. No, you don't even. Hopefully, this is the. I hate to say this should be the opening match, but it almost needs to be the opening match so things can cool down and not take away from your main event, unless they make Moxley and Kingston the main event. They could open with MJF and Samoa Joe, and that would be fine. But they need to keep Moxley and Kingston away from Joe and MJF, or MJF and Joe are going to have a burnt out crowd. If they did co-main event and they put Moxley and Kingston on and then put MJF Samoa Joe on, the crowd will be burnt out, and the Joe and MJF match will fall flat. Mm-hmm. And then the MJF Samoa Joe possibly maybe is the devil. Looks like he's the devil. They're setting it up to make you believe he's the devil at least. If he's the devil, he's the devil. If somebody else is behind the devil, hopefully we get to find this all out on Saturday. To end it, I'm hoping Joe is the devil, and that's the end of this devil line crap. The other men will get to unmask themselves, and we will move on with life and get away from this devil crap. The big question is, MJF under contract with AEW? Is he not under contract with AEW? The way they're presenting this may look like Joe is going to do whatever it takes to win the title, and MJF may be dropping this title to Joe. I think it needs to go to Joe. I think MJF's had a long run with it. I think his run is falling flat now. I don't think the babyface MJF scumbag thing is working much more. I think the title needs to go to Joe. Will they pull the trigger? I don't know. It depends a lot. If MJF walks out the champion, then we have to assume he's still under contract. If he loses the title, that really throws a lot of things up into the air of what ifs. Is he under contract? He probably already re-signed at some point, but we don't know. I'm hoping he did re-sign and gets the hell out of here and goes to WWE, where Cody and buddies and people can show the world what's up there for MJF, because MJF has the golden ticket to WWE if he wants it. Of course, that would be damaging to AEW. That'd be a blow. That'd be a damn big blow to him. But I don't know. So, gentlemen, Hook or Will or Yuta?
Hook.
They're keeping the title on Hook.
Hook. Sting, Darby Allin, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara versus Ricky Starks, Big Bill, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Kyle Fletcher. Who wins?
Faces.
Yeah. The Sting, Darby Allin, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara. You have two guys returning and a guy on a retirement tour. It's kind of like a stacked deck. Miro Andrade.
That one's tougher.
Andrade.
I'm going to say Miro.
I think Miro, because I think Andrade is out the door. And this may be the way they put Andrade out the door. Swerve Strickland versus Keith Lee.
Like I said earlier in the show, if you go with the original storyline, it would be Keith Lee. But when you look at present day presentation,
Swerve.
It's got to be Swerve.
It has to be. Julia Hart versus Abaddon.
Julia Hart.
Yep.
I love Abaddon, but
Julia Hart.
She's just being fed.
Christian Cage or Adam Copeland in a DQ match. No DQ match. With Nick Wayne, Nick Wayne's mom, probably Beth Phoenix. It's got to be Cage. I don't know how, but I think they do. I don't see Adam Copeland winning the title and then them having somebody in a battle royal win a shot. I think whoever wins that should beat Christian Cage. Copeland, hopefully this, I don't know what you do with Copeland after this. The only thing that makes sense is for Copeland eventually. Christian beats Copeland here. Christian then faces whoever this other person is. Copeland costs Christian that title, helps that person win that title. They get the rub. That Adam and Christian can have their one big blow-off feud at hopefully, I hope it's before Revolution. Hopefully we get another pay-per-view. But obviously it's probably going to be the next big pay-per-view. The blow-off match needs to be at the next pay-per-view where Adam Copeland finally beats Christian Cage and takes Nick Wayne from him and Nick Wayne's mom and Kill Switch, formerly Luchasaurus. And then Christian finally realizes he needs Adam and they make up and they go on a tag team run. That's the only way that story works. Tony Storm versus Riho. The timeless one.
Riho.
I know. What? You're wishful thinking.
Who, me?
Yes, you said Riho.
Well, I'm just saying.
And I'm telling you, you're wrong because it's written on the walls. There's the.
I know.
Tony Storm's going to lose his title to Mariah May. That's the story I see coming. Moxley Kingston.
The safe bet or the person we want to win?
Yeah.
Not the person we want to win, the person who should win. That's
Kingston.
the bottom line. Kingston
Same
should
difference to
win.
me.
Yeah.
Kingston
Person
should win.
To me.
Kingston.
Well, I don't know Tony Khan on this one because I know the safe would be Moxley, but Kingston needs to win this. This is Kingston's moment. This is Kingston's crowning moment. Of course, what you do with Kingston after
Give
this.
that man his flowers.
But again, the title curse. Once he wins this moment, then where does Kingston go? Tony Khan doesn't have anything, doesn't know how to do that.
But by the same token, what does he do if he doesn't win? Think about that too.
Yeah.
He gets his moment, but even after the moment, I don't think there's any difference whether he wins or loses. He gets his moment if he wins, but after that, it's kind of like, where you go with him?
Yeah.
Well, then he'd be defending champion, and you go from there.
Yeah, he's suspending 3 belts. It's 1 belt. And the whole world's just going to be confused by this. And
I'm sure.
I think it'll be great. And then when people get tired of it, just kind of like, okay, yay. It'll be dead. And then are they going to bring Eddie? Is Eddie going to defend this all year and come back in the next Continental Classic tournament and do the same thing? Is he going to be the one that has to fight from underneath again with all his titles on the line?
Oh, Lord. Who knows?
MJF
Let's
versus
do one moment before another.
MJF versus Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship. I'm
Samoa
assuming.
Joe.
I think it's going to go to Joe. I feel it's time. I think it's Joe. It's time to move on to somebody else with the world champion. And they've got a decent storyline, even though the Devil's storyline sucks. But Joe's setting up kind of night, even though it was just horrible and dumb. It needs to be Joe. Joe's kind of one up MJF, so.
Yeah.
The only sad part is
if anyone.
Go ahead.
As Sean Ross Sapp once said, when it comes to MJF, they need to have someone who can out motherfucker him.
Yeah. Joe's about
Joe
it.
is actually that character that can do it. So
now the question is, where does MJF go after he loses his title?
probably be a more direct feud with Roderick Strong. Wouldn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm. And what does Wardlow do if MJF's not the champion? Does his purpose serve any purpose anymore? Unless he's aligned with the devil, unless he is that big man that's part of the devil gimmick, and he's going to be like, I got you, so you never saw it coming. Everybody's the devil.
Back to catering.
Yeah, Wardlow goes back to catering. MJF. I hope MJF is leaving. I know that sucks, and I don't wish that on AEW necessarily as a big of a blow as it going to be. I don't want to see AEW hurt in a way, but I think they can be okay if Tony Khan books everything right. If Tony Khan would get his head out of his butt and quit playing online e-fed booking crap, just because you can look at a computer and click on a name and put it against this name and put in, whatever stipulation match, like the old wrestling game we used to play.
Wars.
Yeah, promotion wars. At some point, you got to get serious about it. And I hate to see MJF leave AEW because it would be a huge blow to them. But they could recover. They have 188 people on their roster, from what I understand. That's a huge, massive roster.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Never mind.
And they've got a lot of people they could use. And MJF needs to go to WWE because I think he would be better utilized and he'd have more opportunities. Because I don't know what you do with MJF from here. Yes, he would get a rematch against Joe. But then what does he do? He's been the longest reigning champion in AEW history. There's nobody. I mean, does he sit and wait for Adam Cole to come back so they can do the brochachos again? I mean, I don't know.
They've got to move on. Tony
Yeah.
Khan has to pivot and develop new storylines and strengthen the ones he's got going presently.
I mean, if
He
MJF
can't
was
go with his original storylines for whatever
No.
reason.
if MJF was full heel, I think he'd be better because I mean, you could have MJF and Adam Copeland get in the ring together. You could have, MJF fight a couple of people who I can't think of right now.
Yeah.
So Joe, does Joe go all the way to All In to face Will Ospreay?
When you look at some of the other pieces that are not going to be
Yeah, I'm
able
at
to
that
be there,
point
that looks
too.
like
I
a
don't
pretty
know.
good.
Maybe a great
Good
match.
Run with that. Yeah, I'll take that.
Well, I don't know. Who do you have Joe? Who would be if Joe beats MJF? Who then is on Joe's level to lose that titles to? Depending on how they build. Now Swerve could be there. I was thinking we'd almost see Swerve go into All In against Will Ospreay. So I'm assuming we're going to get maybe a babyface Will Ospreay when he first comes into AEW, and I think he'll be the babyface going into London. Period. I think we all know that.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, he needs to. Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe might be the right move. MJF versus Will Ospreay would be good, but I don't know. And I think that's too long for MJF to continuously have the title because he's not Roman so much. Roman has the right story to hold the title that long and the storyline of that prestigiousness. Could you do it with MJF? Yes, if you booked it right, but I don't feel like they booked him to be just there yet. So, you know what they should do is MJF versus Samoa Joe. They should make this a submission match. They should have Joe have one of the devil people in his corner, and they should have Adam Cole in MJF's corner, and Adam Cole could throw in the towel for MJF.
Oh Lord.
Oh, no.
That would be a great way. Well, I mean, it would be a great way. I mean, you could do the Bob Backlund, Arnold Strick story. Anyways, that is AEW Dynamite. I think we've covered it. We've buried it in the ground. If you liked it, congratulations. If you didn't like it, then we understand. We are here just to give you an opinion. It looks like the majority of people thought it was a good show. It was a good, average show. It had moments. Overall, I don't know if it's the best way to end the year. I don't know if it's the best way to go into your final pay-per-view of the year because you really didn't build for your final. You didn't build anything up to make people want to go out and spend $60 to buy your pay-per-view. So, I mean, let's look at it this way. If you didn't have to do it for this, would you all be buying this pay-per-view?
No.
Oh, you know the answer to that already.
No.
You know that to be a fat no.
So, I mean, Tony Khan did not deliver in the aspects of getting people wanting to invest their money. And he's not selling the tickets to this pay-per-view either. So, it's iffy. We'll be here on Saturday night to review this. There is no SmackDown coverage because I believe it's the best of SmackDown episode.
Yep.
The Raw one was somewhat decent. They did show the great things. And, of course, this Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time will be the Value of Wrestling, not weekly roundup, but it'll be the yearly roundup where we are going to cover the whole year of professional wrestling, where we are going to look at who our pick for the Wrestler of the Year is. Each one of us will give you a pick. What we all thought was the match of the year doesn't mean we have to agree. It's not going to be an unanimous thing. We're just going to say, I think this person was, and kind of give that. We'll say what our best matches are, what was the best moment in wrestling history for 2023. We will discuss what we see going into 2024, kind of a prediction, who we see where, what we think might happen. And we will do an announcement of those who have left us this year, and we'll do a memorandum, probably a small video package. Some big names that I didn't realize. I didn't know Iron Sheik passed away this year with Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt and General Aknon. A lot of names that I didn't realize passed away this year. So we'll break that down. So be here at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sunday as we review everything on New Year's Eve. We're going to get ready to crack into New Year's 2024 right around the corner. You hear it calling your name. It's a coming, and you can't outrun it. And we're going to be here to celebrate it. And we're going to bring you the first ever yearly roundup right here on the Value Wrestling, where we're going to sum up the whole year of professional wrestling. and break it down for you. It'll be a 3-man show. And of course, we'll all 3 be here for World's End, so it'll be a busy weekend. So forgive us if we're a little worn out at the end of World's End. It looks like it might be a 5-hour show altogether. So, but we'll be here live, break it all down, discuss it, let Miguel get. We will count how many times he gets fired this weekend, and we'll see how it goes. Gentlemen, is there anything you want to say in closing about Dynamite? We'll start with Mr. Z about tonight's Dynamite and what you feel about going into World's End.
I got nothing. Let's just get ready for the pay-per-view.
Mr. Clarke.
At this point, it's all about what happened at the pay-per-view. Because even after that, we'll start celebrating because we know WWE is going to be hot in the next coming week, heading towards Royal Rumble.
We got 2
we
good
will be
shows.
Celebrating Sunday.
We will. Sunday's going
to be in professional wrestling.
Sunday's going to be awesome, but I know Monday is going to be incredible. We have a great Monday Night Raw, one of the best Monday Night Raws I think we're going to see in a long time. It's a stacked card. Raw, or WWE, starting off 2024 hot. They're getting into the kitchen. They're going to cook up. SmackDown looking stellar. These 2 cards look incredible. These can't be bad shows. So unless they really screw it up, which I highly doubt Triple H is going to allow that to happen, I think we're starting off 2024 with some bangers for WWE. What Tony Khan's going to do in the middle with his first show of Dynamite of the new year, we have to wait and see. But the big thing is, I think we are totally excited and ready for the Rumble to get here. And then when the Rumble hits and we see how that plays out, then we know what's to come. And we'll talk about some of the news and rumors that we heard last. I know a lot of people talking about The Rock. More stories about The Rock supposedly going to be at the WrestleMania. Alleged. Well, he made some comment to some kid. I don't know who. The Rock is The Rock. He's going to do his thing. Yeah. And of course, Australia, all the people in Australia, the people that are part of bringing WWE's Elimination Chamber to Australia are asking for The Rock, quote unquote. Will they get The Rock in Australia? I said it long ago. I thought if you brought The Rock back, your right place to have Rock versus Roman, since you need to do Cody and Roman at WrestleMania, would have been have Roman defend against The Rock at Elimination Chamber. You could have The Rock show up at Rumble and stare down Roman and then start that short storyline. You're going to get people invested in seeing The Rock in Australia. You're going to get a big pop. You're going to book out that stadium if you have The Rock and Roman at Elimination Chamber. I know a lot of people are like, no, that's a WrestleMania match. And I get that, but I'm like, when you do it a big event like Elimination Chamber on foreign soil that you haven't, there's never been a pay-per-view with WWE, at least of this magnitude. Yeah. You can justify doing a Rock Roman match there. It's just like you could do Rock and Roman in Saudi, sort of, but you know, there's certain times and places where it doesn't have to necessarily. It can be a WrestleMania qualifying, a WrestleMania quality match, but you can put it on a show like Elimination Chamber when you're going to Australia. So, anyways, let's see here. We got 6 votes in tonight, gentlemen.
Holy snap!
6 votes. Thank you for voting. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. We appreciate each and every one of you. And joining in, sharing your opinions in the vote. Always feel free to join the chat. 50% of the voters tonight have said it was a good show, with 17% breaking it down between average, boring, and awesome. So your opinions are always welcome. We do not judge and we do not criticize. If you think something different than us, that's perfectly fine. We are just here to share our opinions and how we feel about it from our view. We're never going to be the ones to say you're not a pro wrestling fan if you don't like what we like, because
we'll sling mud at each other, but we will not sling mud at you.
Yeah, no, we won't. We unless you say something that unless you draw the ire or the attention and want some mud slinged at you. I mean, you can get it if you jump in there, but we're all pro wrestling fans.
Guys,
we all
someone else get fired besides me. That's all I'm asking.
Paul has been technically fired once
or twice.
Yeah. He's asked for it, so yeah, no, always share your opinion. We love to hear your opinion, and we understand if you don't agree with us, that's perfectly fine. You can love AEW, you can hate WWE, you can love WWE, you can hate AEW. That's your opinion, and that's fine. As much as we have our opinions and they de-escalate, as you always see, sometimes one of us thinks this is better and this is not, and that's what we get here and discuss. and why we have these conversations. And we want you to always feel like you have the opportunity to join in the chat and join in this discussion and share your opinion. Thank you for voting. Thank you for being here. If you're watching this later, make sure, if you're watching this now, make sure you hit that like button. Let's get that like counter up. Share this video out with all your friends, family, and everybody who loves the world of professional wrestling. Ring that bell for notifications so you'll always be alerted whenever we go live or new content comes up on the channel. And finally and lastly, if you're here now or if you're coming watching this later and you're not, please hit that subscribe button. We're at 176. We're trying to march to 200 by the end of the year. And then hopefully next year we can make that run for 1,000 plus. We know that that 1,000th video celebration will be awesome. We're going to get Paulie Nana doing the dance. So.
I never specifically said I would do the Nana dance. I said I would give you one full minute of dancing. What kind of dancing?
We want the Nana. 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 Nana.
Nana.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being here. We thank you for joining us. We thank you for taking time out of your day, night, evening, or whenever you may be watching this to join us. We are always live after every show, except this week, because there's no Raw, there's no SmackDown. But we will be back next week with those shows. And we'll be here live next as a three-man team, as a three-man power trip to cover AEW World's End. And hopefully it's worth it. Hopefully we'll be in excited moods. Hopefully it's something will pay off. Hopefully Tony Khan will make magic. And that's serious. I hope Tony Khan, I mean, you know, people sit here and criticize and play down. And I know we give criticism to Tony Khan. We just say this is not, we want this and that. It's not that we dislike Tony Khan. We want Tony Khan to be successful. He does irritate me. He does upset me. And I do get on it because I have a passion and I love this business. And I want both companies to succeed. And that's the ultimate goal here. So don't get it twisted. Let's get out of here. Let's say goodnight. Let me find the right screen to say we're out of here. And we will talk to you on the next one.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.